Welcome to the Broke Book Girls podcast. We're Anne and Bree, and this podcast is going to be your go-to destination for indie reads. We highlight incredible indie authors, explore new worlds, and introduce you to books that you won't find anywhere else. Tune in for your next read, a laugh, and a share in the joy of finding your home. Hello and welcome to the Broke Book Girls podcast, your go-to destination for indie reads, the podcast that is good for the soul but bad for your TBR. Today we are talking to a very special someone, but before we get into that, let's get into this episode starting with our current reads. What are you currently reading, Bree?
I am reading an arc from Ember Holt called Oh No, There's an Ifrit in My Cosmic Cafe, which is, I started reading it. It's like very kind of cozy monster core.
Nice.
She did another one that was, oh no, there's a succubus, I think it was a succubus in my
Succubus in the hot tub?
In the hot tub. And it was it was so good. And I got an email saying, you can have this arc. And I'm like, give it to me. So I started reading that on Wednesday, and so far it's really good. It's what I needed, because, we love a good monster fuck.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's better than the other. I listened to Morning Glory Milking Farm, by the way.
What'd you think?
I can't believe I listened to it.
It's unhinged, right? But kind of good at the same time.
I went from being 42nd in line on the library at the Auckland libraries to suddenly at the beginning of the queue. So everyone's just... It was an experience. I don't think I'll listen to it again. Listening to it as well was probably where I went wrong. I feel like I should have read.
I listened to it as well. Yeah, I thought it was a fun time. What's your rating? Because your rating tells me everything of actually if you enjoyed it or not.
I did rate it a 4 out of 5.
So you did enjoy it. It's like Butcher and Blackbird. What the fuck did I just rate? 5 stars.
That was my review for Morning Glory Milking Farm. Was what the fuck? Why did I do this to myself? 4 stars. So that's what
The second one's pretty good too.
No. God, no. Please, no. I am not doing this again. And what are you reading?
Not Morning Glory Milking Farm. I just finished a beta read of Black Falls Night by Shay Taro. This is the 4th book in her Court series, which is a paranormal mafia romance sort of thing, where each story follows a different couple within this court. So basically the court is run by this one vampire who kind of brings all these magical beings together, and it's an urban setting, so they have to keep their magic on the down low. And Black Falls Night is following the Count's romance with 2 other men. So it's a male, why choose romance? And it was a lot of fun, and I really, really enjoyed it. And it was just a fun time finally being back in that series. Book 1 follows a vampire and a witch who fall in love. Book 2 is a fae and a werewolf, and they end up having a child kind of dropped on their doorstep, and they kind of have to raise this child while also trying to deal with their fated mates dynamic, and it's a lot of fun. Book 3 was about an angel and a human. And book 4 was a vampire, a witch, and a shapeshifter. So it's a lot of fun. Vanessa, what are you currently reading?
Hi. I just finished Mate last night by Ali.
Oh, yep.
Have y'all read Bride and Mate yet?
I've read Bride. I haven't read Mate.
Okay. Yeah, I just finished Mate. And it was really good. I always like her banter. Like she writes just really good, like fast-paced. That I've read in my head. I don't think that quickly in my head, and I'm always impressed.
Yeah. I've read a lot of her contempt stuff, and then Bride was just crazy. Got like the way she went from contemporary straight into like this paranormal werewolf with knotting, and it was just a lot of fun.
Bride is on my shelf It's been sitting there for a while, so I've been meaning to get around to it.
Yeah,
that might be in
like with all our books on our shelves.
It might be a 2026.
Yeah, it's good. I like it. Sometimes like epic fantasy is just really heavy for me, especially when I'm writing it. So like it's hard to read it and writing at the same time. So I read a lot of contemporary, which I know Mate and Bride are more paranormal, but they are very much contemporary, you know, in terms of like it's not high fantasy. Yeah. And it's a lot faster paced. So I read those a lot more when I'm drafting.
Ooh. Alrighty, so today we are joined by Vanessa, or otherwise known as VB Lacey. She is the author of many, many books, which is very exciting, and I've been loving all of them, and so has Bree. Bree is the one who got me reading VB Lacey. So, Vanessa, please introduce yourself. Let us know a little bit more about you and what you write.
Hi, I'm Vanessa, VB Lacey. I write epic and dark fantasy romance. I currently live in Texas, in the U.S., with my husband and our 2 dogs. And yeah, I have a day job. I'm not a full-time writer yet. Hopefully, I mean, that's the goal, but not there yet. I work as a kind of a personal assistant / office manager to a small little family-owned company here in Texas. And I mean, I really love that job. I'm not trying to leave. They treat me really well. It's been a great situation, but I would love to write full time. I love writing fantasy and I love this community. So it's been a wild ride.
That's amazing. Alrighty, so
everything you write.
Yes, pretty much.
Oh, well, thank you.
So before we get into
different from Mate and Bride.
but just as amazing. So before we get into our main bulk interview questions, we like to do a little rapid fire question. So we're going to put 60 seconds on the clock. I will keep time. Bree will be asking you the questions. We want very quick on the spot answers. They're very simple questions, apart from one that kind of catches everyone. And the time to beat is 51 seconds. So we'll get 60 seconds on the clock. Are we ready?
Yeah,
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I don't know what's about to happen, so yeah.
I'm going to ask questions and you're going to answer them really quickly.
Okay.
Alrighty. 3, 2, 1, go.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Kindle or physical?
Physical.
Villain or hero?
Villain.
Favorite book?
Stepping on the Wings of Night.
Favorite food?
Steak.
Spice or no spice in books?
Spice.
Sweet or savory?
Savory.
Romance or thriller?
Romance.
Comedy or mystery?
Comedy.
Morning or night?
Night.
Lots of garlic or not lots of garlic?
Garlic.
Iced drink or hot drink?
Iced.
Movies or TV?
Movies.
Call or text?
Text.
City or country?
City.
Done.
Holy! 15 seconds to spare. That was so fast.
45 seconds. That was impressive.
I am.
That's our new record.
I'm very competitive, so
it shows. I think you answered the favorite book question, so I think you actually beat the last person who answered that so quickly.
Well, yeah, there was no hesitation.
That's just been, I mean, because I get asked that question a lot, and that's just, ever since I read it, it's been, like, I guess if you were to ask me, like, what's your favorite fantasy versus contemporary, I might have different answers, but Carissa Broadbent is, like, I worship her, so I just love that book. I don't think I couldn't tell you what it's about, because I don't remember, but you know how you just know, this is the book, and that's just the book.
Also, what I noticed when you said villain, you pulled a weird face.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, is that like, did she just like say that?
No, like it was like, because I just go into like gut instinct, the first thing that comes to your head. And I was like, oh, I'm surprised. That's the first one that came to my head. Yeah.
I was honestly.
I guess I'm a villain girl. I mean, I guess that makes sense based on
what you write.
Some of my books, but.
How do you? I have to apologize. The cat is now digging his claws into me.
Oh yeah.
He's giving you some love claws.
He's been doing this thing, so it's just been him and I this weekend, because, as I said, my flatmate's away, and he now does this thing where when he was a baby, he used to, like, go onto my chest and then walk around me, but he started doing that again, and he gets, like, right in my face and then flops, and I'm just kind of sitting there like...
Hello.
Oh, bitch! Do you mind? I just got battered in the head. This is going to be fun because he wants to be involved.
He wants attention.
He does want attention. He's had my attention all weekend.
Yeah,
today
that's how it works. Alrighty, so we'll get into our main bulk of questions. Would you like to start, Bree?
Absolutely. So this is. Ow!
It fully came up.
Oh, that was great.
I'm glad the camera got.
That's hilarious. We're making it out of real.
That was great.
He looks so. He's like, I didn't do anything. Yeah. Okay, my first question. Which character or scene from Long Live Forever Reign, like the Elementals of Iona, came first to you?
I say so what gave me the idea to write the story in the first place was the idea of these elements of nature. How would they act if they were people, like if they had personalities? So I would say probably the elementals, I guess, came to me first, just the concept, and then I kind of visualize like how they would be in my head. So I guess those characters came to me first. Scene wise, the very last scene of Long Live, which is big cliffhanger, big spoiler, that one probably came into my head first. Like I knew I didn't know how I was going to get there, didn't know what was going to happen after, but I just like had that scene.
That was the
cliffhanger. So
that was a scene to read. Yeah. I remember going there. I was just going, what the fuck? What the hell's going on? Have you read Long Live yet, Anne?
No, I haven't. That's going to be like very soon on my TBR.
Yeah, you will. You at least you don't have to wait for forever, right?
Yeah, just 2 books and it's done.
Yeah, that's what happened with the Lost God series by Sheila Masterson. I was so lucky that I could binge that whole series without having to wait in between, because
she binged all of Sheila's books in a month.
Completed series are the best.
Yeah. Yeah, I read 9 of Sheila's books in 2 weeks. It was yeah. The dedication was there.
It was insane. I was like, are you okay? And she's like, no.
No. Okay, so my question, why did you decide to write interconnected standalones and not one series following one couple in the Veridian Empire?
So the Veridian Empire series initially was just going to be 1 book. It was just In the Wake of the Wicked, and I'd had this idea in my head for a long time. And then I did so much research and world building, and I put a lot of time and energy into that world. And I was like, why am I not going to continue this? I'm doing all this work for 1 book. This could be epic. This could be a big series. Mm-hmm. But I knew I wanted that story to wrap up. So I was like, well, I'm not going to force their story to continue. So I'll just write. I have all these side characters I love. Let's just write their stories. So then it turned into, and I know that that's becoming more of it's always been, I think, prevalent in contemporary. I know there's a lot of contemporary. Yeah. And it's becoming a little bit more common in fantasy. So I think that's kind of on the people like little palate cleansers, between big epic series where you don't have to worry about a cliffhanger, but you can still enjoy your favorite characters coming back. So that turned into that. It was a mistake. Not a mistake. It was more of why am I putting so much time and energy into this world that I really love, and I'm just going to leave it after 1 book. So
yeah, I always think it's fun as well when you're writing, when you think it's just going to be a standalone, and then everything just kind of blossoms from there, and then you find that all of your readers are really obsessing about these side characters. Because I know there's a lot of our friends books, side characters make a lot of books for them, and that's why they give books 5 stars. So it's always fun then to kind of like follow on with that and follow their specific story and see their happy ending as well.
Yeah.
And then expanding the world as well, so you're seeing more of what you get your main place, and then it's like, hello, let me branch out and let you explore. It's great.
Yeah,
it's always
I
so
love
fun.
that, and I feel like this series, I didn't realize it until I just got done writing the third one, which is coming out in January. I don't know if I would do a series of interconnected ones again. Like I think I would probably just do either duologies, trilogies, or bigger series going forward. But this is only the second series I've ever written. I mean, Elementals of Iona, I wrote and published, and that was all done by that was all done. It was almost 2 years ago at this point. And that was all I'd ever written. And writing this standalone now, by the end of it, I'll have written 4 new couples. I'll have written 4 distinct, unique stories. And as a writer, that has been so much experience, just learning how to write in a short amount of time. I will have now written 5 or 6 main characters, main couples. So that's 12 main characters, and learned how to give them all voices, and learned how to create new story. It's just a lot of experience, all wrapped into one world. And now I feel like that's helped me become a better writer for future series. So that's something I didn't expect, a cool, I don't know, takeaway, I guess, that I didn't expect from this series. But that's been really good.
Yeah, that's
and having also read Long Live and Forever Reign, you can actually really see your growth as well. Having come from that one and then coming into the Veridian Empire, it's actually been so cool to see your growth as an author as well, and go, oh, your voice just grows, and it's been really fantastic to read and also just watch you grow as well.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Now give us more books.
I mean, book 2 only came out 2 or 3 months ago, was it?
July.
July, yeah.
And
okay, so not 2 or 3 months ago. Yeah.
I know. I've been popping these out. I think it helps that I'm a big plotter now. When I wrote Long Live and Forever Reign, I literally wrote Long Live, did not know how I was going to fix the things that I messed up at the end of Long Live, because things got chaotic and I had no plot. I had no plan. I was like, I'll figure it out. And now I actually plot very heavily. And so I think that helps me. Now I'm pretty quick with drafting. And I think it helps that I really love these stories. It's been very easy.
Absolutely. One of the things that I really loved about the Elementals of Iona is just the imagery in your writing, and how everything, I could, as someone with a very vivid imagination myself, could see it and see everything kind of as you described it. How do you get your inspiration behind these places, and how the hell do you put them into such good wording?
Well, it's actually really funny that you say that, because I have aphantasia, which means I can't visualize anything.
Me too.
Yeah.
And well.
So I think it's maybe something that potentially you can exercise and train, because I have noticed I've gotten better since 6 years ago, as I've been writing and reading so much more. And so I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at it, but I can't picture things. So whenever I think maybe that helps me to write them clearer, because I have to write them clear enough that I can picture them, much less anybody else. And so if you do have a vivid imagination, if you can see a movie in your head, which I am jealous of, then
you can have it. I don't want it anymore.
I think that maybe the fact that I can't see it, and so I have to try so much harder to make sure that others can see it. And I have to use a lot of pictures. I get inspiration from things from either what's around me, or seeing pictures online or videos, whatever. And then I just have to, I have to stare at it as I'm describing it, because I'll lose it if I'm not looking at it. So I think that helps, just knowing I have to be able to visualize it. So I have to make sure you can, and it's that much harder for me.
Yeah, I really struggle with it, like especially like reading books and like everyone's like, oh yeah, I can picture the main male character and I can do this. Like I rely on character art a lot. Like yeah, I know what like black hair looks like and green eyes, but
Yeah.
like don't like I don't know anything else than that.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
can't put them together.
yeah.
My
So
head.
character art is how I will generally visualize stuff. But then again, if like you show me a character art, I wouldn't be able to like retell you what it is without actively looking at it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm the same way. I don't know what my own characters look like. Like I can't picture them.
yeah.
I have inspiration pictures, like actors or something, and then I use that when artists are creating character art, and then I have the character art, but in my head, like I don't see anything.
And that
So,
probably does help having like those really deep and lush descriptions. Is like you can kind of give that to an artist, and then they can work
mhm.
with those descriptions and not be like, oh yeah, he's got black hair, green eyes, and then they're like,
Okay, yeah,
go.
my art briefs are like pages long. They're ridiculous.
So who is your favorite couple from the Veridian Empire series and why?
That's like trying to pick my favorite child. I don't have children, but if I did, I so I just finished writing book 3 and I am in the process of book 4. I think that Clarissa and Thorn from book 2, which is Of the Curse of the Crown, I think that they are still my favorite. Usually it's whatever when I just got done writing. Like I often, because that's when you latch on to more. But I still think Clarissa and Thorn, even though they were now a couple books ago, I think they're my favorite because I'm most like Clarissa. And so it was like writing her and Forbidden Love, that's the main, romance trope of that book. And Forbidden Love has probably been my favorite trope to write ever. So I think that's why they're probably my favorite from the series.
Yeah. I always love asking those hard questions because like it always puts everything into perspective and everyone's like, I don't want to choose, please stop it.
Yeah. They basically are your children though, because they're the ones that live in your head. You bring them life.
I know.
Yeah.
I love them all.
Yeah, that's
and then
fair.
So building from Anne's question, who is your favorite character to write in the Elementals of Iona, sorry, Cat, and then also your favorite character to write in the Veridian Empire?
I feel like I know I've been asked this question before, and my answer might change from time to time. I'm not sure what I have said in the past, but right now, my answer for the Elementals of Iona is a character named Sebastian. So I think he's my favorite because it is a lot of fun to I'm trying not to. It's so hard not to say spoilers right now. So
and take off your headphones.
I'm
gonna edit this later anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, I won't say any spoilers. He's definitely he's a character who a lot of things like kind of hinge around him, but you don't get his point of view in the first book, and so it's a lot of fun learning about a character from everybody else's point of view, and then finally jumping into his head in a next book or a future book, and being in his head after everything that you've built on in the first one. It's a lot of fun, and I really like I know everybody loves the dark and broody, morally gray characters, but I'm such a sucker for like the quick-witted, charming, cocky, like hiding your trauma with humor kind of character, and that is him. But he also he has some very vulnerable moments, but for the most part, like he's just very cocky and charming, and I love that. And it was so much fun to write that.
He's so complex as well, and it's that learning about him from everybody else's perspective, and then when you see him, you're like, he's just a baby.
He's just traumatized little baby.
Yeah, I love that with like I love that with follow-on books where you see everyone else's opinion of them, so you kind of form this opinion, and then you get their first chapter, and you're like, "Oh shit, I was so wrong."
Yep.
And then, so from the Veridian Empire, who is your favorite to write?
So, Clarissa is probably the most similar to me, but I actually think it was a lot of fun. I really loved writing her, but I think my most recent FMC from the Silence of the Shadows, which is coming in January, her name's Devora. She is so funny. Like, I got to kind of go balls to the walls with her internal monologue in terms of like the things that she would say and like the jokes she would make, and in her head. She's very similar internal monologue to me, and so that was a lot of fun. Like she and I are both kind of like Chandler Bing. Do y'all watch Friends? Have y'all ever watched Friends? So
Chandler is very relatable.
I love Chandler, and there's his one of his famous lines is like, "Can I interest you in a sarcastic comment?" And I actually, without even thinking about Chandler, I wrote that into one of her internal monologues. She was in her head thinking about something, and talking about how she didn't want to confront her own feelings because she'd much rather, like, hide behind sarcastic comments or bad time jokes, that kind of thing. So that's the kind of character she is, and she was a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm excited.
So exciting. That's so exciting. When I finished of the Curse of the Crown and realized when I was just like I was like, yes, this is gonna be, especially I love Knox.
I know, and I've been kind of nervous. Like, it was kind of nerve-wracking to write this book because since book one, everybody has been saying, like, I love Knox. I hope he gets his own story. I can't wait for Knox's story. He's my favorite character. And I'm like, so if this sucks, then sorry. There's a lot of expectations.
It's not gonna suck. I know.
No,
we know it's not.
I love it. And I was telling like my beta readers, who they all, gave really great feedback and they really loved his story. And I was telling them how you get this kind of like how we were talking about with characters who you only see from other people's point of views. He's one of those because you've never been inside his head yet. So you only see him from everybody else's point of view. And he's this very like cocky, charming dragon shifter who's like has chemistry with a brick wall, like literally with everybody.
He falls to the wall.
And so that's what he is, but that's not what he is. Like, he is very traumatized, like has a very dark past, and being in his head, it's like, it's not all charm and swagger, and like, it is very dark, and he's very lonely, and he's been through a lot. And so I was telling my beta readers, like, he is not, like, I don't know if y'all are expecting this. He's still got the charm. He still has the like funny one-liners and the like, innuendos and things like that. But he's very much more than that. And so it's been fun to watch people's reactions to him.
I think if there was a book just full of someone who was kind of surface level, very charm, very swagger, it would get boring very quickly. So it's always good to deep dive into that trauma and like why they are the way that they are and why they put that front up. So I think, like obviously not every book's going to be for every person, but I always love when authors like dig deep into the trauma and like come face to face with that sort of stuff because it's relatable. I'm ready to cry if I need to, okay? I've done a lot of that this year and I'm ready to do some more.
We've still got like 6 weeks left of the year, so let's cry more, guys.
Let's go. Was it my question next? Yes. What are your favorite scenes from each book in the Veridian Empire series?
So I did have to write this one down because I know, like, I got a little list of questions because I don't remember anything I've ever written, and had to look that up.
Once it's on paper, doesn't exist.
What?
Once it's on paper, no longer exists.
No idea. Okay. Oh, I found it. So there are surprisingly a lot of scenes because, I feel like sometimes I look back on my writing and I'm like, oh, I don't want to reread this. I don't like it. It's hard to read your own, but I actually really enjoy sometimes going through, and like, I hadn't looked at Forever Rain. I know we're talking about the Veridian Empire, but I hadn't looked at Forever Rain, which is book 2 of my duology, in a long time, but I was looking at it today just to see, like, remind myself of different things that happened. And I was like, I really miss this book. Like, I miss this world. I love these characters. So it's fun to look back on your writing and your scenes and things. So that was fun. I think in The Wake of the Wicked, one of my favorite scenes, at least, is the first kiss scene between Rose and Leo, because it comes on the heels of him finding out that she kept this really big secret from him. So there's a lot of like some frustration and passion kind of all colliding. And you see Rose's more like burn the world for him mentality, which is a fun trope, and I think it's even more fun when it's kind of like gender swapped, when she's the one who would burn the world for him. And you get all that, like, and it's kind of it's all been leading to this like point of tension. It's coming to a head, and I really love that scene because it's just, I like the fiery, passionate, somewhat coming from frustration and kind of all that tangled together. So that's a lot of fun.
I always love seeing that.
Of the Curse of the Crown, so I loved writing the single dad trope, which of the Curse of the Crown, the main male character's name's Thorn. He's a single dad. And I don't feel like you see it a lot in fantasy.
No, you don't actually.
And there's this scene towards the end where Clarissa is comforting his daughter. She's a 7-year-old. Her name's Marigold. Clarissa is comforting her through like some bad dreams. And it's from Thorn's point of view watching them. So that is probably one of my favorite scenes from that book, just because there's a lot of emotions at play with like him being mesmerized, like watching the woman he loves, comforting the most important thing in his world, but also kind of sadness for like what she doesn't have. Like she doesn't have this maternal figure, and how can we keep this because I love her, but I can't have her because it's forbidden love. Like there's a lot of emotions at play. And then he and Clarissa have kind of a sweet, vulnerable moment after that. So that was different. I've never written like a single dad. I've never written children. So that was probably my favorite scene from that book. And then, well, From the Silence of the Shadows isn't out yet, but one of my favorite scenes, a big part of the beginning of this book, at least, that kind of sets the plot into action, is the main female character uncovering some dormant magic that she has. And her whole motivation up to this point is like finding answers about her family, her magic, her past. A lot of things have kind of been boiling up to this, and her magic's been suppressed. And there's a scene that's really this like cathartic emotional scene where her emotions come into play with her magic, and it all finally breaks free. And it was just a really like emotional kind of release of energy, and yeah, that was a fun scene to write. I say fun. It was kind of
traumatic,
hard, but it was I don't know, traumatic, because like she's so full of a lot of this guilt and shame and things that you find that you get in her head, and you see all of this, and it's kind of like a release of all of that and a start of a beautiful journey. So it was really cathartic to write, I think.
Oh.
So I'm excited for people to read her and read that.
It's gonna be a good book. I can feel it in my bones.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of emotions at play. I can already feel it.
Yes.
Emotional damage.
We love that in our books.
We love to be traumatized. You're going to be traumatized, but we're going to be happy about it.
Yes.
Exactly.
What was the hardest part of writing of The Curse of the Crown?
Probably the single dad, just because I'm not a parent. And I've never, had like lost a partner that way, that kind of thing that he has to explore a lot of. So probably that. I had to do a lot of talking. I talked to a lot of friends who are either parents or specifically single parents. Did a lot of research, because we blogs and people talking about their experiences online, just to kind of see, like, make sure it's believable. Like, she has to be this, like, she is the center of his world, and that changes things when in a romance, when you have a child at play, things like that. So that was hard. I mean, I enjoyed it, but it was probably the most challenging part of that book.
Yeah, especially for not having your own kids, it's always hard to pull from an experience that you haven't had. You don't have those emotions or feelings to go towards it, but yeah.
And I want it to be believable for people who do have.
Yes, exactly.
It always kind of takes you out of it if you read something and you're like, well, like, I know that that's not realistic. That's not how it goes.
I mean, I think you did it beautifully. As someone who came from a single parent household, I didn't have a dad. I had my mum, though. And then my stepdad came into the picture, and I was just like, yeah, this is actually pretty accurate. For me, it was very much like Marigold was kind of like a reflection. for me, of what I kind of went through with, I just accepted this random dude into my life, and I'm like, hey, can I just call you Dad?
Yeah.
I did shock him once with a question. I was like 6, and he's like, I don't know how to answer this. And like, that's just what kids do. So I think really writing that single, like a child welcoming another person into their life, which is a huge thing. But kids are just so accommodating.
Yes. Yeah. And that was a big scene that I had talked to my friends about, because I knew, like, maybe this is spoilers, but also it's a romance, so it ends happily. Like, there's happily ever after. So that they end up together. And writing that from the perspective, like, if there wasn't a kid involved, you're like, yeah, like, let's jump on a ship and go to a different kingdom and I'll live with you forever, kind of thing. But with a kid, you're like, okay, well, I have to consider them and their, like, life and their future. And yes, ultimately the parent, it's your decision, but you still have to, I feel like, need to include them in that conversation in some way. Not like I'm asking you for permission, but like this is what's going to happen. How do we feel about this? Like, do you have any questions? How do we talk through this? And even though she is so young, she's 7, he still I had to talk to some friends to be like, how would you talk to your, like, 7, 8, 9-year-old about something like this? Because I don't know how I would approach it. So,
yeah. That it's always good to do all those sort of, like, research, especially with things that you're not experienced with, and then having, like, sensitivity readers, especially for, like, things like disability rep or whatever the case may be. So I think it was done really, really well. And I just love the single parent trope in Contempt, because I always love seeing the dynamic between like the child and then the new person coming into their life, and whether the child likes them or not, because children are always a good, like, judge of character. So it's always fun.
Yeah.
What is the hardest part of being an indie author for you?
Marketing, I think, just because it's like you feel like a hamster on one of those wheels, and you're just like, you don't stop. Like, you're just running and you're running and you're running. And it's like, either you fall off and can't get back up, or like you have to be able to give yourself grace and, like, realize when burnout is coming. Because I think of all the things in this world, in this author world, that would give me burnout, it's marketing, because you're constantly trying to appeal to people, new readers, old readers, like, multiple platforms. I mean, there's just so much. And algorithms is my least favorite word ever. Like, I hate the word algorithm. And you feel so contingent on these numbers. And if, like, these numbers aren't doing well, like, you feel like a failure. And it really shapes your, like, perception of yourself. And I hate it. So I think marketing is my least favorite.
I'm pretty sure when we ask this question to every single author, marketing is
always marketing.
It's always marketing. Like, it's the worst.
It is. And I don't hate content creation. Like, I kind of enjoy content creating, which I know some people don't. I mean, that's what I do sometimes when I just need to procrastinate. I'll just go into Canva and just, like, make a ton of stuff. And I think it's fun. But then when it comes to, like, actually posting and having to monitor results and things like that, that's when I'm just like, I don't want to deal with this. So, yeah.
Yeah, like, you've made this amazing graphic and you're like, hell yeah, this is going to do so well. It's going to get so many, and then you get 3 likes and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, I pretty much always assume anything's going to flop, you know?
And that's the thing. Worst. Yeah, just don't high expectations.
Yes, if you don't have high expectations, then they can't
be disappointed.
Can't be disappointed. Like, that is my motto in life. And some of my friends, my author friends, will laugh at me. And I know I need to be better about, like, manifestation and having a positive attitude. And it's not that I don't still work hard, but in my head, I'm just kind of like, I got to keep a baseline of my expectations. I'm still going to work really hard, but I can't handle that. I cannot handle the disappointment and the, like, getting your hopes up and having I can't do it.
Yeah, like, and just the amount of changes that has just happened this year with the algorithm in general is just infuriating. It's like, and this is, and
ago.
like just as being bookish content creators, so, like, the content that we're making doesn't really like it does like it's not making us money. It's not making like people buy our books. Whereas like for you guys, authors, it's like this is how you get your like how you make money. And like if it's frustrating for us, I can only imagine how frustrating it is for people who are actively trying to make a wage from it. And it's just I feel for you guys.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, I'm very thankful. I have amazing readers and I love engaging with them. And so that part is always fun, but it's just the aspect of like I have to just keep doing it. I have to keep trying to find new people. I'm the one who has to do this. Like I am indie. I don't have a publishing team. I don't have a house that can. So yeah, it just gets to be a lot.
Yeah. But hey, you're doing really well.
You are.
Thank you.
And people are talking about your books, and new people are picking them up every day.
Thank you. Yeah, I am definitely. I don't ever take it for granted. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So you touch on a lot of different elements of mental health and grieving, and all the hard kind of subjects that we like to see in books because it makes them a little bit our characters a bit more human to see them struggling. I mean, we don't want them to struggle, but we do. What aspect of grief, mental health was the hardest for you to write?
So I definitely, there are lots of different kinds, I think, of grief and loss. And I explore a lot of those, specifically in my Elementals of Iona duology, more so than the Veridian Empire. And there is a lot of grief there in terms of like losing people, which is, I think, what most people think of when they think of the word grief and loss. But I think there's a lot of other types of grief too. Like you can grieve parts of yourself, parts of your past that you've lost. You can grieve, like in the book, I have them grieving. They've been betrayed by people, and I think that can be a kind of loss that you have to go through, is like betrayal of people who were close to you. Parts of themselves, like powers, which we don't deal with. We don't have magical powers, but losing your powers, losing that like aspect of you, your identity, things like that. But I think the hardest part of grief that I touched on specifically in that series was the actual like losing family members part of grief, because the main character has lost multiple family members. Some of them you see happening, like it happens on page and she has to witness it. And like, I have never been through that. I've never had to watch a family member die. I've never, and I hope that many of us haven't had to do that. So that was probably one of the harder ones, just because I couldn't pull on a ton of experience from my own personal life.
Yeah.
And trying to make sure that I'm hitting on things that are believable, like that she's going through physically, mentally, that whole process, the grieving process, how it plays into her everyday life, because it's going to play into her everyday life. So things like that, that's probably one of the harder. And also making sure it's true to the character, because different people, everybody processes it differently. So it's like making sure it's true to the character. That was probably the hardest part.
Yeah. Yeah, grief is so hard because there's so many different ways that people can go about grieving. And then there's all the different stages that you go through. So yeah, it's definitely a hard one to navigate, especially if you haven't dealt with it personally as much as other people. So yeah, it can be rough.
Yeah.
What is we spoke about already how you are a heavy plotter. Like, what is your writing process like?
I feel like I just started my 6th book a few weeks ago. And I feel like I finally have like a process down, because it was not, with Long Live and Forever, Long Live, I did not, that was my debut. I did not have a single plot. I did like pre-research on like the characters, and I think that's what helped me a lot. I got to know the characters really, really well before I even started writing. And I only had like the end scene in mind, and I did not really know how I was going to get there. So I did not plot that book at all. And then I got to the end of it and I was like, oh, okay, I'm done. Like, there's my cliffhanger. And then I was like, oh, I have to actually fix this now. So with Forever Rain, I very, very, very vaguely plotted it. I mean, I had no idea what I was doing. And then with In the Wake of the Wicked, same thing. I started off just flying by the seat of my pants. And then I realized, oh crap, there are so many moving parts. I can't keep this up anymore. So probably the last half of that book, I, for the first time ever, outlined. I'd never done that before. So the last half of that book, I outlined it. And I was like, why have I not been doing this the whole time? Like, this is why people plot. So then with Of the Curse of the Crown, I plotted it a little bit more. And then from the Silence of the Shadows was probably the first one where I had chapter 1 through chapter 83, whatever, plotted before I even started writing it. And I leave myself a lot of wiggle room. Obviously, entire plot lines can change, and that's fine. I don't let that freak me out. But I at least know when I sit down to write, this is my next chapter. So that is now what I do. So I'm starting my 6th book, and I'm doing it that way. I plotted out pretty much all of it. Little bit of question marks about some of the last little bit of it. But for the most part, I have every single chapter outlined. And so now I just go through and I write it.
So with your chapters, do you have a full outline of this is exactly what's going to happen in this chapter? Or is it this is just a vague sort of...
It's kind of, well, I say it's vague, but I've talked with my friends and showed them little snippets of what, and then they're like, wow, that's so detailed. So I don't even know. It's subjective. Some of them are pretty, some of them, if I know they're pivotal chapters, I've even put little snippets of dialogue as they come to me in the outline. So that can get pretty in depth. But then some of them, it's more this is a traveling chapter. They're on a ship. That's all I got. So it just depends on on how pivotal that chapter is. And if I'm thinking of something, I don't want to lose it, I may write down longer snippets, but because I cannot write out of order. And some people I know can write out of order and they can, if you're stuck on a chapter, just move on. I cannot do that. I will literally sit there for months and not move on if I can't get past a chapter. So
wow. It was we Kelly Hart recently was in New Zealand talking about, brimstone and all of that. Mm-hmm. And she was saying, and I asked her, I was what was the first scene that you wrote? And she said it was page 1. And she writes it. She literally, she has to write it in chronological order. It is, and it's fascinating how some people can, go, okay, I'm stuck here, I'll go and write this scene instead, or they get another scene and they go and write it, and then other people are literally page 1, page 2, having to do it in order. It's just it's everyone's brains work so differently.
I know. It's crazy. Well, in this book is the first time, so this is book 4 in the Veridian Empire series, so there's really no spoilers because y'all don't even know what I'm talking about because you haven't read book 3 isn't even out yet. But book 4 is actually, I'm doing kind of a split timeline. So it's so I'm doing flashbacks to something. And I actually have been kind of writing the flashbacks. So it's still in order because I'm writing in the flashbacks order.
You're in the past, so you're writing the past timeline first.
But they are going to be interwoven throughout the rest of the book. So So to me, I'm still doing it in chronological order, but it's been helpful sometimes because that lays the foundation for these characters. And so I'm kind of writing the past chapters first, and then I'll figure out where I want them to go. This might be chapter 10. This might be chapter 15. This is chapter 20, whatever.
Yeah, no, that's interesting.
So you went from pantser to plotter, a journey.
Oh yeah, full on plotter.
Sounds like it was a journey.
Yeah. I just figured out I can't, and I still leave room to pants a little bit. Sometimes, I mean, I'm not so rigid that I won't let myself, because I feel that kind of blocks my creativity if I'm well, I can't do that because it wasn't on the outline. Yeah. So I still give myself freedom, but it has really helped my brain to have this organization. And I don't know how I did it before.
So would you say the end product of your book is very similar to the outline with room to wiggle? Or is it has it ever happened where you've had your full outline and then something happens in the middle and you're well, now I've got to replot everything for the rest of the book?
Well, that happened in Long Live for sure. I mean, there was a character who Bree would know. I'm trying to like delicately.
It's okay. Like if you spoil it, you spoil it. I'll just put a spoiler warning.
Well, there was a character who was supposed to be a certain way, and then about halfway through drafting, I fell in love with him, and I was like, well, that changes my entire plot. And I mean, it drastically changed everything. So that has happened before. Now, let's see. I actually can't even remember how In the Wake of the Wicked, I think In the Wake of the Wicked ended the way I planned. A lot of things changed on the way to get there. Of the Curse of the Crown ended the way I planned. I had always planned for a certain thing to happen in Of the Curse of the Crown, and I don't think people expected that to happen. I know I can't. Anne, have you read Of the Curse of the Crown?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I feel like with
spoiler warning.
Yeah, spoiler warning.
Spoiler warning.
Spoiler for Of the Curse of the Crown. I feel like a lot of people, when it's forbidden love and somebody is like engaged to somebody else, and you're like, okay, well, obviously they're not going to get married. You know, they're going to either realize that they can still run the country without, like Princess Diary. She's like, I can run this country without being married at all. So she breaks off the engagement. Like the engagement gets broken off, or somebody protests like in the middle of the wedding. They're like, I object, kind of thing. Yeah. And I was like, no, he's just going to die.
When I was reading that, I was like, hang on a second. I had to go back a page, and I'm like, hang on. wait, what? What?
Yeah. I had a lot of people who were like, I just thought that they were going to like break up the wedding, you know, like there was going to be some sort of, and I was like, no, I don't want I don't want what you expect to happen. There has to be some sort of plot twist, because there's no other plot twist in that book, really.
Yeah. It was such a good plot twist. Like, I genuinely did not see it coming, and I was like, this is such a good way to kind of tie up that, like, you know, that ending.
Oh yeah, it's tied up. It's done.
It's truly tied up. There's no reversals here.
I know. Just freeze.
Yeah, like it's and I know that he was not an irredeemable character. Like he just had issues that could have been worked out, and I just like, it's not always realistic that everybody gets to have their happy ending. Like it was, I don't know. That was one thing that people were very shocked by, and some people weren't super happy with it. And I'm like, well, not everybody always gets to live.
No.
Like, doesn't mean he was a bad guy. Like, doesn't mean he was a bad guy, but not all the good guys get to live, and not all the bad people get to die. Like, that's just how, I don't know.
Yeah, that's life. And I like, and the thing is, because we read so many books, like, a lot of tropes, a lot of things are very like cyclical, and like they recycle a lot. Like you're never going to get something that's so unique and fresh, but it's like, because I'm really good at a page 100 or whatever, like guessing what's going to happen. And I've messaged my friends when we're buddy reading, and I'm like, this is a wild ass theory, but this is my theory. And then it ends up happening, and they're like, you're a magician. And I'm like, I know. But when something like that comes out of nowhere, like not out of nowhere, but like you're shocked by it, like you didn't guess that it was going to happen, it's always so much fun. And it's like an immediate like 5-star read for me, because it's like completely gone in a different direction than I ever thought it would. So
yes, I do that too. I like to guess what's going to happen a lot. And so when I'm writing, I mean, obviously I need to leave breadcrumbs for things, because I don't ever want there to be something where you're like, oh, that was just put in there for shock value.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, obviously that was a shocking thing that happened, but it also made sense because the whole point of it was the fates were like, well, your marriage will end the curse. They didn't say how it will end the curse. So it wasn't like a out of nowhere, didn't have any sort of foundation. And so I want to make sure there's always like a foundation for something, but I do really like to make sure that it's like, it can be shocking, because I like to guess things, and I want other people to be stumped.
Did you always plan for that to be his ending, or was that kind of also like it was a bit of a shock for you as well? Okay, this is what we're doing. This is
happening. Yeah, I had always planned on that, because in my head it's like, you have to know how, like with forbidden love, how are they going to end up together? And I really didn't want to do the same. Like I didn't want to do because it's inspired by Princess Diaries too. Obviously, with the whole she is like her council forces her into a marriage of convenience kind of thing, and I didn't want them to necessarily be at odds because her like have y'all seen Princess Diaries too?
Yeah.
Because like Mia and oh my gosh, now I forgot his name. The guy she was supposed to marry. No. The guy she was supposed to marry. Like they're not at odds with each other. They get along really well. Obviously, he does not die. They just part ways. And so I was like, well, I'm not going to copy that. I need it to be, and the stakes are a lot higher, obviously, than than that happened. So I did want there to be, I knew he was going to die. Andrew, yeah. What?
Quick Google search on the side.
Had to Google. I needed to know.
Well, I actually forget. Do you can you see that actor's name? Are you on something where you can see the actor's name?
Hold on. Andrew.
I forgot his name.
Jacoby.
Because
Helen Blue.
Okay, no, I didn't with him. With a lot of names from these books, I intentionally like name them something from the movies or TV show or whatever that they're inspired by, because like in The Wake of the Wicked is Wicked meets the Hunger Games. There's a lot of callbacks to both of those in ways that only I would know. Like it's just for me, not for anybody else. Same with Of the Curse of the Crown. Like I named things specifically based on Princess Diaries or callbacks to like King Midas. And then with From the Silence of the Shadows, I did things same way. Like I just like to take names and like rearrange them into a new name and use that or whatever. And it's just
like
for
little
me.
breadcrumbs for yourself. So you'd be like, yeah, I did that and no one noticed.
Nobody knows. Yeah.
So clever.
Nobody will ever know except me.
Give yourself a little pat on the back. My last question is, which quotes are your favorite from each book?
So this one, I did also have to go back and look this up, and of course, like all the quotes I picked are super long. I'm like,
it's fine.
Why can't I just have a good one-liner? And I also, yeah, it was hard. Okay, I had to write them down. Where is it?
It's funny because, like, with a lot of these, we just throw this at an author, and because they never ask for the questions in advance, so then they're like scrambling.
Only you're the second person to ask for the questions in advance, because we just like to throw things at people.
Oh, well, you could have told me no.
If you like, that's the thing. If you ask, we'll gladly give it to you.
I like to be prepared, and some of these I could have probably answered off the cuff, but some of them, like this one, the quote one, I could not tell you a single thing I've ever written, so I would not be able to answer this. I did. So Long Live. I'm a sucker for this one particular scene where they're still enemies, but like, I don't know, you're like feeling it a little bit. And she tells him, "You wouldn't want me on a throne." And he says, "And why is that?" And she says, "Because I would make wretched men like you kneel at my feet as I cut them down." And he says, "I can think of much worse ways to meet my end than on my knees before you." That is probably my favorite quote from Long Live.
Han's like, right, I gotta read this now.
Like straight away, like before the next interview, I'm going to read.
So I love that scene. I love that quote in particular because, never mind. Yeah, spoilers. But
we love a man who gets on his knees.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's also like, you guys know, I'm a no spice. I'm a closed door writer, and so, but I have so much fun writing these scenes that are like, I think you can still have so many of these like fun, hot tropes that are written in like a tense, no spice, closed door setting. And that has been a lot of fun trying to like take all these tropes that we love and you can still make them high tension and swoon worthy. And there's still, there's a lot of people who want that, who don't necessarily want the spice. And I like being able to do that. And so that's one of those scenes where it's like, this could be, but it's not, but it could be.
It's also a good kind of throwback to like the YA books that we used to all love. Like, you know that they're banging, but you don't see it on page. And it's just that tension and the banter between them is just always so good. Because obviously it's for a YA audience, but these are more adult. So it's just like that nice nostalgia as well.
Yeah.
And it's refreshing when we read so much spice as well to be able to. It's kind of like it's a break for the brain to be like, okay, I don't actually want to read spice. I want the tension. I want that
Yes.
build up, but I don't want to like actually read them bang and like give me a break. So being able to go, yes,
Yeah.
safe space.
And just I really like focusing on a lot of emotional aspect of things, and you kind of have to do that more when you're not. So that's let's see. I mean, I picked one for every single book, but I feel like this is a lot. So let's see.
No,
It's fine. Girl, we got time. We're in
Well,
no rush.
so with Forever Rain, I think Forever Rain has some of my favorite scenes and quotes I've ever written still. I love that book so much. And there's this one, Isla was very much based off of me. Like, she's probably one of the most me characters I've ever written. Very anxious baby. And there's this scene where she's trying to, one thing I really like to always do is make sure my characters are communicating. I will not have couples who like walk away from each other without some sort of like, and there's this scene where she's trying to walk away from him because she just can't handle it. And she's like, which I get that. I do think that there is a space where in a relationship you do sometimes need that, but he's like, this is not resolved and you are scared and I'm not letting you do this. And so he tells her, I know the darkness you fear, the one that whispers to you when anxiety clouds your mind, telling you you're not strong enough, but you are. You're the strongest person I've ever met. And I know that you saw me when I had no hope left in this world, when I had nothing, when I was nothing. I love that scene. So that's probably my favorite scene from Forever Rain.
I love it.
Not gonna cry.
In the Wake of the Wicked.
I know I cried when I read that. I don't know.
Well, that chapter in particular, my favorite chapter I've ever written, and it has like, because you know how on Kindle you can see like highlighted quotes, and that chapter, like almost all of the highlighted quotes from that book are in that chapter, and I'm like, I feel that because that's like the scene where they're finally like talking, communicating as adults. So that's the duology. And then in the Wake of the Wicked, Rose was definitely the most like prickly character I've ever written, in terms of like, she's this orphan outcast who's had to develop this shield because people despise her because of what she was born into and because she's not like them and because she sometimes does morally gray things. And I have a couple of different quotes that I really loved from her, but one was it's an internal monologue, and she's talking about how people want these neat, clean edges to mold into their idea of normalcy and predictability and ordinary. I was jagged cuts and sharp fringes. Nobody wanted to hold me for too long. And that's at the very beginning. And I just think I love seeing her growth throughout the whole book of like, I'm okay with these jagged edges now because like, A, I found somebody who loves me despite them, and B, like, that doesn't mean I don't fit. There's still pieces that I can fit into just because I'm not what everybody else wants me to be. So that's one of my favorites from that one. Of The Curse of the Crown, I have a longer one, but I also really just love because you know in Princess Diaries 2, how they say I loathe you. Like there's that scene where they're about to kiss and she goes, I loathe you, I loathe you. I really wanted that, but not that same scene, not like the exact same thing, obviously. So there's the scene where they're finally, I mean, it's forbidden love, and they're finally kind of in this space where they can confess their feelings. And he says, lie to me. And she says, I loathe you. And I love that part. And because it's a little callback to Princess Diaries, but also not. But
yeah, it's in your own unique way.
And then from The Silence of the Shadows, which I know is not out yet, but
sneaky.
I know this. I pulled one. I have several because I have a lot of good like romantic quotes I like from that book. But the one I actually pulled is not a romantic quote. It's Devora has learned how to like wield her shadows, which is something that, you know, she's been trying to do for a while. And somebody's talking to her who is also a shadow wielder. And so I had to think a lot about how I wanted that magic to look for me, because shadow wielding, like you see it so much. So I wanted to make it something unique to my characters. And so they're talking to her and they say, I know you have your dark thoughts. We all do, but shadows aren't just darkness. They aren't what's left when the light goes out. They're proof that light was there to begin with and that it will come back again. So that's one of my favorite ones.
I love
just connecting her like thoughts to her shadows. And yeah.
Whoa.
Damn,
there's my favorite quote.
Such a good book.
Thank you.
I'm so excited.
Excuse me while I go on a VB Lacey binge right now. That's the end of this interview.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh wow, those quotes were good.
Thanks for letting me share.
No, of course, we are proponents of side quests and tangents and long conversations about one particular thing. That's what we're here for.
On some major side quests sometimes, like you don't even know where, we don't know how we even got there. We sit there going, how does this relate to what we're talking about? Oh yeah, this is what we were talking about.
Yeah.
In the middle of one interview, we ended up deciding that we were going to create a new podcast, and we started having a conversation about this new podcast, and it was just a whole thing.
Whole new podcast. Yeah, well, I have conversations in my head too a lot, and so like I'll be talking to my husband, and then I will say something that makes total sense in my head. Like
my partner
and
does
he's
that.
just like,
and
I'm like, well, hold on, let me back up to like where this came from. Got to follow this thread. I don't even know how I got here.
I do that to my colleagues. So I'll be I'll be just randomly rambling about something, and then I'll go, "Oh, this," and then they're all sitting there going,
"How did your brain go from there to there?"
One of our doctors has been victim to my because he just comes out, asks me a question, and then I start something, answering it, and then I go to something completely different. He goes, "How?" He's like, "How? Wait, where does this come?" I was like, I saw something, and now I'm thinking about that, and I know you want me to do this, but I need to do this first. So can you answer this question, and then I'll answer this question. You answer mine, and he just goes. He's fallen victim to it so many times, and he's not learned.
Yeah, my partner, like we'll be having a conversation about something, and then we finish that, like in my brain, we finish that conversation, and then we're like in silence or whatever, or we start talking about something else, and then he'll just randomly say this one sentence, and I'm like, what are we talking about? And he's like, oh, we're going back to this thing, and da 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 da, and I'm like, and how am I supposed to know that? And he's like, oh, because you're a mind reader.
See, that's me. I am him. I'm him in that scenario.
Okay, there's a lot going on in the brains, and sometimes you just got to take side quests. I describe it, sometimes I'm like a cow in a tornado, sometimes I'm the cow, sometimes I'm the tornado.
And sometimes too, he'll truly believe that we've had a conversation about a certain thing, but it's in his brain and he's never said a word out loud.
I feel like I've probably done that too. I have to question things all the time. I'm like, did we talk about this in my head? Like, did I have a full-on conversation with you in my head and this didn't actually happen? I don't know.
Listen, did I tell you this? No? Okay, well, this is what's happening. And then it's like, okay, but how did you get to that point? Okay. I have no idea.
Yeah.
There's so a reason. Funny. Like, if I could unscramble it, but it's fine.
That's a lot of
where's the joy in that?
Got to keep you on your toes.
Exactly.
It's just the only way to do it.
Yeah. All right. Moving into my last question. What advice would you give to anyone who wants to try their hand at becoming an author?
So I get this question a lot, and there are probably some things I could say about the actual craft itself, but the most common advice that I like to give is more about your attitude towards like indie author in general. And it's that I think networking early and networking authentically is like the most important thing. I mean, writing, obviously. But whenever you're trying to get into this world, networking, you need to make these connections with people. That's really going to help you. But more importantly, it needs to be authentic. I am never a proponent for just like doing something just to see what you can get out of it. I mean, you need to be making these connections, not because you're trying to get something out of them, but because you really want to make a connection with them and you want to like support each other, building these relationships based on how like mutually beneficial, but just building each other up. And if you happen to have a fruitful relationship in terms of like they help you down the road, then that's fantastic, but that shouldn't be your primary goal whenever you're, building this community. And I think I see that mistake often with just like you have zero relationship with someone and they're just in your DMs asking you for something. And it's like, I'll help you, I'll answer your question, but I don't think this is the best way to go about it. So that's what I say often is networking early, but also authentically. It's not just about what can they do for you.
Yeah, because being an indie author, I would imagine, could be very lonely if you don't have your own community around you. And
yes,
yeah, it's the same with being a content creator. Like, no, don't like jumping into people's DMs and having a conversation, not asking them something like out of nowhere, like, oh, hey, can you like my post? Like, that's we get that. I get that a lot in my like requests. Like, they haven't even followed me, and it's like
I just can't. I just delete and block because
same.
I'm like, no.
Yeah. And so much stuff now is bots, but like, it's hard because you often are trying to like, yes, you want to get something out of this. Who doesn't want to potentially like have something come out of something? But that's just not the way that you go about making these connections.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely agree. Like, just being friends with someone and like actively just supporting one another and being able to jump in their DMs and be like, hey, I'm struggling right now with this, and this. Here's all my thoughts. Could you help me unscramble my thoughts?
Yeah, and if you have like a relationship with them, I'm not saying you have to be best friends with everybody, but I just mean like there are so many people now that because I took the time just to engage with them, just to like celebrate them with their wins and commiserate them with things that are struggling with, so many people now that I can just hop in their DMs and be like, hey, I saw that you worked with this person, can we talk about like your experience? Or hey, I know that you use this platform, can you tell me how you use it? Like now I can do that with so many people because we have that trust and like, no, we're not best friends, but we have a relationship, and we have like, they know that I'm not just milking them, which that's not a great word.
Morning glory, Milky Farm.
I know, full
circle. Guys, no.
Yeah, and like they can do the same thing to you. You're not like just it's that open communication.
It's a two-way street.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so that is all of our questions. Do you have any extra that you'd want to ask, Bree, or are we good there?
I'm good.
Alrighty. So at the end of every single episode, we talk about our spark of joy. So something that's brought us a little bit of joy in this crazy world that we are living in. And then we also talk about our plug of the week. So that can be anything from something that we're enjoying food-wise, or something philosophical, or whatever the case may be that you want to plug, or a small business, or a book, or an author, whatever the case may be. Or yourself, because a lot of authors that we have on the interview do not plug themselves at all.
I think we've had one person.
Yeah, Bree, what is your spark of joy for the week?
My spark of joy for this week was, and with the process of, preparing to move, I've been doing a lot of cleaning and discovering things that I forgot that I had. And I had the delight of finding my Pounamu necklace. So it's this...
Yes.
So Pounamu, if you don't know, Vanessa, is green stone. So it's a very hard, durable stone from New Zealand, specifically from the South Island, a specific place in the South Island, which is prized in mariculture, which is our indigenous culture to New Zealand. It's something that you cannot purchase for yourself. It needs to be gifted to you. It has a lot of, there's meanings behind it. It's very much, it's a gift to like go with, like, it's to solidify relationships, friendships, and all sort of those things. So when I left Greymouth to come back to Auckland, so Greymouth is in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, South Island. I lived there for 4 years nursing, which was really great. And when I left, they gifted me with this, which was it's carved, made into the shape that it is, and then blessed by a elder. So they gave me this one before I left, and I wore it all the time, and then I took it off because I think I was getting irritated by this, or I can't remember what was going on. It might have been for something. Put it aside, moved house again, and I completely forgot that I had it. I didn't know where it was, and then I was cleaning my room yesterday, and I was like, holy shit, I found it. Like, I completely forgot that I, like, had this. So being able to actually wear it again, and it's such, like, a steady, like, weight, and, like, I like the weight, I like the pressure, and it's so precious to me because my colleagues in Greymouth became my family because I had no family down there. So to be able to now kind of carry that the South Island is very much it is my safe place. It is most of my best friends live down there. It was home. It was where I really grew into myself because I moved out of home directly to the South Island. So getting to, like, wear it again, it really connects me back to the place that I wish I was.
Yeah.
So my spark of joy was finding my pounamu and being able to wear it again, and I'm never taking it off ever again.
I love because I had one. So in my partner's family, they're all Maori, and the pounamu and everything is very important to them. So when someone turns 21, they are always gifted a pounamu. So when I turned 21, I was gifted a pounamu from his family, and it was blessed, and I sobbed. And the thing with pounamu is they're very hard wearing. Mine actively broke, and I spoke to my partner's sister about it, and when a pounamu breaks, it's meaning basically the spirits have done what it's needed to do for you in that time. So when one breaks, you actually have to return it to the earth and to the like rivers and stuff, and it's very cultural. I also have a bracelet that my partner has given me. It's currently getting rebound, but I've worn that like for the 8 years that we've been together, and it's just pounamus are just, I love it.
That's so cool.
And it's just the cultural significance, and it's so cool. I'm so happy that you found yours.
It's actually been really. I put it back on yesterday, and I haven't. I'm not taking. I refuse to take it off. And I was thinking about it today, and I was with Christmas coming up, and I've got a friend from America who lives here, and I actually don't know if he has one. So I'm like, oh, and then he's got a friend coming over who's spending Christmas with him, and like they're coming to Christmas dinner with us. And I'm like, I'm actually thinking I might get them pounamu because each shape or whatever it is represents something new. So you get your typical koru, which is new beginnings, new life, that sort of thing. So I'm like, it's a fresh start, and it's New Zealand. Like, this is what, and you have to be gifted. You can buy it, but it's not like you don't buy it.
It's like bad juju if you buy it for yourself.
Yeah,
it needs to be gifted. So I'm just like, I figured out his Christmas present, and I really hope he's not listening to this episode when it comes out.
Oh, that's going to be in January, so it's fine.
That's fine
from the schedule.
That's a cool tradition, like, cultural piece. I never heard of that before.
New Zealand culture.
No one knows about it.
Hey, look, we're not even a real country at this point.
No, we're not even on the map half the time in America.
It's fine. Look, sometimes we'd rather just not exist to the rest of the world.
We're on a different planet.
I'd probably rather be there than here right now. So
you know what? You should come over.
You should just move here.
So I did apply. I think I applied for a convention in like 2028. I mean, so far away. That's over there, but who knows if I'll get accepted. We'll see.
What convention?
Actually, did I apply for that one? I can't remember. I need to look and see which one I applied for.
Yeah, let us know because we'd love to come see you.
I mean, just come to New Zealand, please. Just come.
Okay.
We will make our own bloody book convention to just have all of our favorite authors.
It will be so great.
So good.
It's okay. Anyway, and what is
Book Girls?
Oh, yeah, the Broke Book Girls convention.
Yeah.
All the indie authors. It would be the best time.
Poppin'.
And 2028. I'm kidding. We're not there yet.
2030 at this point. So far.
Look, the fact that it's the end of 2025 is still shocking to me.
God, it's crazy.
I know. I don't know what happened.
You blink and you miss it, and then it's like it's getting really busy for us at work as well now because we're shutting down again for 3 days because we're closed for the stat holidays. So we're closing for 3 days, but now the patients are starting to go, you guys are closing, I need my medication, I need to come see the doctor. And it's just like, you have had all year to come and talk to the doctor about your issues. And now because we're closing for 3 days, you've decided that that one spot on your back that you noticed in 2022 is a problem.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
And it's 2025 and it's Christmas. Like, what is wrong with you? But it's fine. I'm not going to be there for the closing down anyway because I'm going to be in Australia.
Yay.
Oh, nice.
And what is your spark of joy for this week?
My spark of joy is, recently, an NZ indie author went trad with her debut book. And I was part of her street team, so Ivy Cliffwater. And yeah, she got picked up by Hachette and her book released and it was on the shelves. So I went and saw a copy and I went and bought myself a copy. But just standing there and seeing this indie author that I have supported like from pretty much the beginning of her journey and was like begging to be on her street team to help her with this release. Then seeing it on the shelf, like I did get a bit teary-eyed and be like, oh, I'm so proud. And it was just great. And it was like number 7 spot in, like the warehouse like book charts. And it was just so good to see. So that was a really big spark of joy for me. It's just crazy seeing all these like little indie authors getting picked up and doing really well. And I'm so proud of her. So Vanessa, what's your spark of joy for the week?
I am excited because I'm going to see Wicked Part 2 on Monday.
I'm going and seeing it on Wednesday.
So I'm so excited. I mean, that is just like, I know people love Wicked. Like I'm not anybody new, but it's just a huge part of my life. I mean, I saw it for the first time with my dad when I was like 11. And since then, it's just game over. I've seen it probably like 10 times on stage now. And I wrote a book inspired by it. Like I just love it so much. And I'm excited. It's going to destroy me. So I'm excited.
Zoe, one of our other indie authors and also my best friend, and I went and watched the movie together in Invercargill when I was down there for New Year's this year. And we wanted to go and see it. We wanted to see it together, part 2, but of course I'm in Auckland, she's in Invercargill, so we booked our tickets to see it at the exact same time on the exact same day in our separate areas. So 6 p.m. on Wednesday, we're going to be watching for good, and I just know that it's going to be like it's gonna be emotional.
I know. I'm going to be bawling like a baby.
I've actually never seen it.
It's
you have
good.
to.
You need to. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
What? Oh, maybe over there.
Part 1 is
Netflix.
on NZ Netflix.
So I'll have to have a look.
Yes.
And report back. Okay, so moving into plug of the week. What's your plug of the week, Bree?
My plug of the week, I've had a really shit week. There's been just a lot of little things with work and hormones, and I just haven't coped very well this week. So my plug is just spending time with friends. One of my friends called me Friday night. We were supposed to do something and then they got cancelled, and I was really in my feels, and I was sitting watching a sad movie. I was watching Me Before You. And he rang me because he said like, oh, this is what I'm doing. And then I sent him a photo back of me with my giant glass of wine, which can fit an entire bottle of wine in it, by the way. So it's technically one glass.
What?
Yeah.
How big is this glass?
Gigantic.
It's huge. It fits an entire bottle of wine. It's brilliant. I poured the whole thing in there, and I was sitting there and I was crying. I hadn't even gotten to the end of the movie, and then my friend rings me and he's just like, are you okay? And I'm like, I was struggling. I needed to cry after the week that I'd had, and I wasn't getting there by myself. So I'm like, if I watch a sad movie, I'll get it. So another plug, cry. It's good for you.
I might have to do that.
I highly recommend. But just spending time with friends, and he's called me 2 days in a row to be like, are you okay? Checking in on me, which has been really nice, which I've kind of needed, because I'm not very good at reaching out when I've got a problem. I'm very much you can talk to me, but I'm not going to talk to anyone. I'm just going to sit here and suffer. And I think he got a bit concerned. I was at a Halloween party last weekend, and I spaced out 3 times under 2 minutes apparently, and I'm like, I don't know. So yeah, just spending time with people has been really good, and would highly recommend it. To talk to your people, be with your people. It's really, it's healthy. And, cry it out. Put on a sad movie. I watched Dead Poets Society for the first time last night.
Oh, the first time?
The first time. And I'm like, 10 out of 10 movies. 7 out of 10 cry. I was shocked at, like, I knew something was going to happen. I knew someone was going to die. I just couldn't peg who it was going to be. I was like, it's going to be this guy because he's giving off the vibes. And then it went a complete, and I was just like, wait a second, no, not this, not him. And then, started crying,
Yeah.
So, watch a sad movie, guys. It's really therapeutic. And if you have a giant glass of wine that can fit an entire bottle.
An entire bottle. There you go.
It was a gift. It was a birthday gift from my father last year. He's like, you can get glasses of wine wine glasses that fit entire bottles. I'm like, really? And he went and then bought them. Well, I was in Australia, and I was not in a good headspace. I just broke my ankle. I had broken my ankle. Was in a moon boot. Couldn't do very much. And he just gives me these giant wine glasses. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Let me test out the theory. And he gives me a bottle of wine, and I'm just sitting there going, like, this counts as one glass. And he's like, yes, it does. So don't drink too much, guys. And what's your plug of the week?
So my plug of the week is reaching out to friends you haven't talked to in a while. So when I moved to New Zealand, I had this really good friend back home in the UK, and I'd go and visit her all the time. I was from Ireland, so it was like a 10-minute flight. It was really handy. And we haven't really spoken in a while, so I did reach out to her this week, and we had a nice long chat. And it was just good to kind of catch up again because we haven't really done it in the last couple of years. So I would definitely plug, if you've been thinking about someone that you haven't really spoken to in a while, just kind of reaching out and having a chat with them, because it just rejuvenates you a little bit, and kind of, you get to talk about all the shit that you used to do, and it was just a lot of fun. So I definitely recommend that. Vanessa, what's your plug of the week?
Well, I'm actually not sure when this podcast is going to come out. Do you guys know?
Ooh, let me quickly pull
Is it like super far out in advance? Because what I'm going to say might not be it's still going to be relevant, but
I think
January.
Well,
we're 7th of Jan.
7th of Jan.
Okay. Well, as of right now, I don't know if you guys have seen lately there's a girl in the bookish community, LJ Andrews' sister in PA. Her name's Aubrey Carter. Her house a couple nights ago burnt down.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody's okay. Like, her family's okay. She got her little ones out. They're okay. But obviously that's a huge loss. And so I don't know what their situation is going to look like 2 months from now. But when we're recording this, she they're trying to get through this loss, and there's a lot of the bookish communities coming together, doing fundraisers and doing donations. They have a GoFundMe, things like that. And so I guess, I don't know if that's really a plug. I just want to keep her in people's thoughts, like sending.
Absolutely.
And then even in January, obviously, it's not like things are going to have magically been fixed. So just keeping her in your thoughts and her family, and them getting back on their feet. And I know that they are taking donations. Like, LJ Andrews has some links up and things like that we've been pushing. Yeah. So
we'll definitely share those on our Instagram page ASAP. And then we'll add any links that are applicable in our show notes when this episode goes live. In case things are still going on. Obviously, things will still be going on, but I don't know if any links and stuff will be working. But that's a really good plug, yeah. It was also, from what I know, is LJ's shop that went on fire, and Aubrey lives underneath.
Her LJ shop is in the basement of Aubrey's house.
Right.
So, so some things got affected with her shop too. And all that.
Yeah, just not great. But especially with little ones. It's scary.
And they're all safe. They're okay. But it's just
which is good. Yeah, 100%. So that is the end of our episode. Thank you so much for joining us today. Make sure to subscribe so we know you're here listening. We appreciate you spending time with us today and every single day that you listen to this podcast. You can follow me at Runaway Irish Girl on all platforms. Where can they find you, Bree?
You can find me at Cheese and Reads, just anywhere you want or don't. I don't care. Vanessa, where can we find you?
I am vblacey.books everywhere.
You
Perfect. Make sure to follow us on our own Instagram and TikTok at the Broke Book Girls Pod, and make sure to subscribe or follow on your listener of choice, and check back in every Wednesday for a brand new episode at 10 a.m. Bye.